Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. Mike here. This is about Coventry City and Coventry City Football Club and promotion to the Premier League. Righty-ho then. 25 years. 25 years since they're in the Premier League. Yeah, and I was 34 years old. I remember it well. I remember the day it happened. I remember where I was and who I was with. I was in McDonald's. I was with my daughter, Megan. She was just 4 years old. And I just got our McDonald's Happy Meal or something like that. And I remember these four guys sitting around this table saying, I'm glad Coventry went down and it wasn't Sunderland. You know what they did with Middlesbrough and fixed that fixture so that Sunderland went down a few years ago, which I'm not even really sure about. But anyhow, it wasn't good feeling. I expect them to stay up. In 34 years, they're in the top division. 10 times they stayed up on the last match of the season. So I thought they were going to do it again that time. But they did go down. And then they win the, I don't know if it's called the Championship then, probably still the Championship. Yeah. And so, yeah, they were in there for a few seasons. The first season they went down, I remember they got to fourth place with just a few games to go. So they could have been in a playoff place and could have had a chance of getting promoted back to the Premier League immediately. But eventually they finished 11th. And I think during that time, they decided to build a new stadium. Instead of Highfield Road, which is where I used to go lots of times when I was younger. And I've been supporting Coventry City Football Club since I was 13 years old. So that's 1980. And I used to go there quite often in the late 80s, I think in particular. Yes. And it was cheap. The train fare was cheap. The ticket to get in was cheap. It was easy to get to. Could just walk there from the train station. Yeah, so there's that. And then I think it's about 2005. Something like that. Since was the last game they played at Highfield Road. And then they moved to the new stadium, and which was built in the North Coventry, called the Rico Arena at the time. And so not too long after that, we were relegated again down to League One. So after, I think it was about eight seasons, something like that. Now I can't remember precisely. So yeah, and then there was problems with the ownership. There was problems with administration of the club. We thought they were going to just go bust at one time. And then so I think they spent about 11 seasons in League One. They got docked a load of points one time. Certainly more than 10. I think it may have been as much as 20. But they managed to survive that year. And yes, and then what happened was there was a disagreement between the council and the club about the rent to play at the ground, because the club didn't own the ground. think, hold on, let's get this right. The club didn't actually own the ground, but they were paying rent for the ground, and they shared it with Wasps Rugby Club. And so they couldn't play there because of this disagreement. And it was Sisu was the organisation they had to deal with, and they played their home games at Northampton, which is 35 miles away from Coventry, and hardly any Coventry fans would go, partly because of the travel, partly because they didn't want to go in protest. So 35 miles to Northampton, and then after that, it was in 2017, 2017, they got relegated to League Two. The season before, they finished 8th and had a really good team, and they should have gone up. I can remember that much. But they went down in 2017, and although they won I think it's the Johnston Paint Trophy or something like that, they won that and they had about 6 league games to go, and that was when Mark Robins became manager. Now this is the turning point, although I didn't know at the time. And so they went down to League Two, and yeah, they were in a terrible state. They had hardly any money. They were pretty much, on a shoestring budget, and they could hardly afford anything, even basics. And, they were getting such low attendances. They were playing teams that, tiny little teams that had come out. Some of them would come out from the conference, and some of them were like amateur clubs. And even, so Coventry did well. They managed to finish in the playoffs. Even so, at one time, they lost 6-2 at home to, I think it was Yeovil Town or Forest Green Rovers even. And, yes, this was just terrible. But they managed to finish in that playoffs section. And they played Notts County over 2 legs. And they managed to overcome them. And in the final against, I think it was Exeter. So they won that 3-1, I think. I think it was 3-1. And so they got back into League One. So this was like, you could say this was the real turning point, but Mark Robins, you could say as well, was the real turning point. And so what happened next was that, what happened next? So they got into League One again. The first season back in League One, they managed to finish 8th, which is a good start to come straight back into a division and finish in the top 10. So they weren't far off the playoffs. And then the next season, now let me see, let's get this right, 2019, 2020, now the season finished early because of COVID and the lockdown. They were on top by a few points, and instead of finishing the season because of they couldn't finish the season because of the lockdown, what they did is add up the points and Coventry finished top, so they awarded the League One title. So they came up in 2020, 2021, they survived in the Championship in the first year, finished 16th. That was important, the fact they stayed up. And, it wasn't, so there were still problems with the ground sharing. We played at Birmingham. we shared grounds with Birmingham at Birmingham's ground, and we also shared grounds with Burton. And so, but we're still on a forward momentum in a difficult situation where we couldn't spend too much money, but Mark Robbins was doing a really great job. And then what happened next was that, so we finished 16th. We're in the Championship 6 seasons as of today. So 16th, and then we finished something like 12th, and then 13th, and then we finished, I believe, 5th. We got to, we got Gyökeres and Hamer. We had some great players, and we had a period where we didn't concede for ages and managed to get to the playoff final, where unfortunately we lost on penalties to Luton Town. The next season, Championship, yes, we finished below the playoffs, finished at 8th. We were in a good position, a few games to go, but then we had this brilliant FA Cup run where we beat Wolves and very nearly beat Manchester United in an FA Cup semi-final. Very unlucky. But that kind of distracted from the league form, so that went back downhill a bit. So they finished 8th. So, but they weren't far out. If it wasn't for the cup run, they probably would have finished in the playoffs that season as well. Then the next season, last season, just gone, didn't start too well. There's a problem with the pitch, I think I remember. And they're trying to sort out an arrangement with the ground, which they did for a while. And then what happened was that, the players weren't performing, or they were underperforming, and so by November, December of, let me see, where are we? 2024. They were 17th in the table, just a point off relegation, and then they sacked Mark Robbins and brought in a new manager, Frank Lampard, and he just sort of, tried to bring in people, bring in more technical staff, to bring in his own team, and trying to change the way we played, the style of play, and it took a little while, but it started to work at the beginning of 2025, and we started to win game after game after game for at least 2 or 3 months. That 2025 last year, we were winning regularly. Last month or two, our form dipped, but we still managed to finish, I think it was 5th again in the playoffs. This time we got to semi-final over 2 legs with Sunderland. We were the better team, but unfortunately a last minute equaliser in the second leg put us out on aggregate. So semi-finals, playoffs, we're out. So that's where we are. And then beginning of this season, absolutely brilliant. I mean, I could talk about this season for a long time, but this season has been absolutely brilliant. He's kind of continued where he left off, the way we were playing January, February, but this was even better because with the amount of goals we were scoring, we were dominating teams. And the most significant of all was when we won 7-1 against QPR. This was on the very same day that we finally got ownership of our own ground. the pitch, the ground, didn't belong to somebody else, but was owned by Coventry City. So that was a great day and a great win. And we kept on scoring and scoring and scoring. So this carried on, and it was great. I just couldn't believe it. I've not seen anything like this from any Coventry side since I supported them. But it got to like November, December, and their form started to dip. And and I began to have doubts a bit. Although I had a good lead, don't know, they just seemed to have lost their way, run out of ideas or something. Or other teams have figured them out, And so this carried on a while. They've been in a few games. They weren't absolutely awful, but they weren't in the same form. And the other teams slowly started to catch them up. And I think it was it got to January, February time. And we're just, losing games we really shouldn't have done. And significantly, at that time, we'd lost our place at the top of the league, lost at the top of the championship, and Middlesbrough took over. Well, the thing is, significantly, the very next week we had to play Middlesbrough. And it's such an important game that was. And we really performed. We won that game 3-1. And then after that, we won another 5 games on the trot, I think. Improved our lead again. Strengthened our position at the top. Lost to Southampton, even though we played really well. Which is only a few games ago now, and we're getting up to date. And we knew we only needed a certain amount of points. And we slipped a bit around there. But other teams were slipping up as well, below us, so that helped. And you see, we beat in the last few games. Let me think. Beat Derby 3-2. Before that, beat Swansea 3-0. Drew 0-0 at Hull, 0-0 at home to Sheffield Wednesday. Really should have beaten the bottom team. And then last night, they needed a point. They were well ahead in goal difference, well ahead. Unlikely to be caught. 33 goals ahead of Millwall. The only team that could catch them, I think. Or maybe Middlesbrough, one or the other. So 33 goals plus. But they still needed that point. And I was keeping an eye on the game. I saw that Blackburn away. Blackburn scored first after about 58 minutes, I think. And then I was thinking, oh no, come on, we just need a goal. We just need a point, and we've done it. And in the 85th minute, we got a free kick. Victor Torp put it in the box. Bobby Thomas jumped up, headed it into the back of the net, and that was it. That's the goal. That's the moment. That's the time that we got the goal, got the point we needed to get us in the Premier League. The first time in 25 years. So 25 years is a long time. Almost half my lifetime. And I'm very proud. And I don't even know if my dad was a Coventry supporter. I don't know that. But I think he'd be proud anyhow. Because it's his city. It's his birthplace. And, you know, we've gone down, we've been down as a club, and it lifts the mood of a town or a city if their football team does well. And I think he would have been proud. And yeah, it's great. You know, I'm just such a pessimist. You know, I saw all this going on, thinking, oh, let's not get carried away. Let's not get excited. Let's not celebrate. Every game, every few games, I'm like thinking, nah, we're going to slip away. We're going to mess this up. We're going to mess this up. It's not going to happen. And let's not get too excited, because I think if I keep saying, oh, we're going to get promoted, oh, we're going to go up, they'll mess up. I didn't want to jinx it, but and I'm a natural pessimist, and I think, you know, if I think, oh, they're going to do it, they won't. They won't do it. So, you know, it's great. I mean, I've not been able to go up there to see them play because I couldn't get tickets because they're so successful, and it sold out. It just sold out, and then I'll not be able to go there, which is a real shame. But I've been able to watch it on TV, and I've been playing this song called "You Win Again" by Bee Gees every time they win, which is quite often, and so that's great. And yeah, you know, I'm going to have a drink tonight without a doubt. We've got some wine. I'm going to celebrate because, you know, in life, sometimes there isn't a lot to celebrate. And I know this is just football, but someone once said, it's not as serious as life and death, life or death. No, let me get this right. It's not life or death. It's much more serious than that, which I don't believe. But it lifts me. It lifts me for a while, and that's got to be a good thing and a positive thing, because there's so much dragging you down in this world. There's so much can drag you down in life that you have to. If there's something positive, you have to sort of cling on to it and celebrate it. I accept. Yes, they're going to be in the Premier League. They may come straight back down again, but this is an achievement. This is a real achievement. After what this club has been through, it's just marvellous. It's absolutely marvellous. And I could go on for ages. I want to say play up Sky Blues. And I just want to say one more thing. Let's see. And I hope you don't mind, but I'm just going to sing one song because this is a song that needs to be sung. So just let me drink this. Let's all sing together, play up Sky Blues, while we sing together, we will never lose. Tottenham or Chelsea, United or anyone, they shan't defeat us. We'll fight to the game is won. City, City, City. We are going up. Yeah, we are going up. We are going up. Yeah, we are going up. So, yeah, you might have noticed I'm happy. So, thank you for watching my video. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Thank you. And I appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.